Hey everybody, today we're going to be working on our Vanguard boat. It's a 1978, has a Chrysler 70 horse 2-stroke outboard. I picked this up Thursday night, had it running Thursday night. We're going to try to fire it up, prime the carbs a bit, put batteries on there. She's a little hokey right now, but we'll see what we can have happen here. I think we're pumping enough water. Prior to that, had it been running for 2 years. Friday, cleaned it all up, got the kids involved, got Nikayla up here doing the waxing and the polishing and the cutting. So she's going to work on that. I'm going to work on the mechanical bits, and Logan's going to do some filming. Tuning the engine a little bit. Saturday, actually got it on the water. Ran pretty good, needed some tweaking. Sunday, we took it out, and it was great. However, there's still a few issues. We're going to go through those and try to fix them. Oh, we're up out here.
Oh no. And we're just watching these paragliders and they're going really high.
So, okay, pointer out front. Here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
And you're right. Nice. Blast. Check out behind us. Get the weight. They turn the other way. Give her a little more throttle. Watch behind you. Yeah, we're good. Okay, straighten out. There you go. Watch it forward, bud. I think your brother's driving. Good. All right. Turn the other way. Watch where you're driving, don't watch the camera. That's good. Oh, you like that throttle, don't you? Straighten it out. There you go. Now you got it. Oh, you're natural. Now go straight this way, Nikayla. Go this way for a little bit. There you go. Turn left. Turn us left. Alright, straighten us out. One more throttle. Right. A little less throttle. There you go. Look behind. Are you straighten out? Don't go ahead and pour that. There you go. You got some crappers over there. Now give me a smile. Good job. Alright, Logan, I don't think this is your best idea, but I gotta let you do it. Watch your face. Alright. So our main issue is back here. Now, when we got it on the water, what was happening is the engine would ramp up, rev up before it would actually go into reverse. A lot of gear grinding, stuff like that, made for some interesting times at the docks. So I really want to fix that. It's a kind of a pain in the butt. and that's what we're going to work on today. Start by getting the engine cover off, get us into the engine. Now, where we're looking is right in here. You can see the throttle linkage in there. I'll give you an example of what's happening. There's the carburetors, has triple carburetors on it. So we're going to start by checking all this, making sure it's all rigged properly. Okay, looking at the engine, down here we have our throttle cable. Here's our gear cable or our shift lever. Here's our tower shaft right here, runs up here, your distributor, and here's our throttle. So what should happen is this should fully engage, go into gear before the throttle ramps up. There is a spring-loaded section here that allows for absorption, and once it's in gear, then the throttle can start accelerating the engine. We weren't having that. What was happening is the throttle was advancing before it was fully in gear. So I've tweaked on it a little bit. I'll go move the lever so you can kind of see all the monkey motion that happens here. Okay, and there you go. That's how everything kind of moves. We'll go through this. We're going to start by looking at the throttle plates on the carburetors, making sure that they're in the fully open position. So I'm going to take the spark arrestor off and we'll get to it. There's 6 screws that hold this arrestor on. I've already taken a couple of them out. There's 2 for each carburetor, here, 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 and here. So we'll take those out and then we'll be able to see down the throat of the carburetor, and that'll help us out significantly while we're working on it. There we go. I'll see if I can get a better shot into the carbs here. I'm really hoping you guys can see this okay. So on this side we have our choke, and the plunger comes in, pulls the choke open or closed. Down, hopefully you can see down in there is your throttle valves, and what we want is when the throttle goes wide open like that, all the plates on all 3 carbs should be open, and they may not be perfectly horizontal, but you want them as close as possible. And you want to start with the bottom carb and kind of work your way up. How you adjust this is with this linkage right here. A couple little clips here, you loosen them off, and you play around with those a little bit. So you can see we're a little bit out on some of them, but we're pretty darn close. I don't know if I'll play with that. I might, just because I tend to get a little OCD sometimes and like to have things as close as possible. So let's have at it. So the next area we're going to be looking at is our throttle cam. You can see this mark right here on the cam, and that should be bisecting this screw almost exactly in half, and it should be just touching up against the roller here. Now we're a little bit off, so this is how you set your idle. If it's up here, that's not right. If it's down here, that's not right. Kind of want it right there. So this is an eccentric, which means it kind of goes in an oval pattern rather than just spins in a circle. So we're going to loosen off the nut on the back very carefully so as not to bend the bracket. And we're going to adjust the eccentric up against the cam throttle. The throttle cam, sorry. Okay, we've made our idle adjustment. You can see that the roller is now touching the throttle cam. So just to test it out, we're going to snap the throttle, have that come in, and just touch it. Should be about halfway through the screw. We're pretty close. We might be a little bit out. We'll have to play with it a little bit more. But you get the idea. The next area we're going to adjust is this link right here, your throttle linkage from your tower shaft. So once the cam is at the idle position, you want it to rest right on that ball. Now you got to be careful because these ends are plastic. They take a little bit to get them off. I highly recommend you take it off at the tower shaft rather than the throttle cam, because if you bend the cam bracket, which is easy to do, it's pretty thin and it takes a bit of force to pry these off. So we're just going to adjust the rod by loosening off the jam nut, shortening the rod a little bit, and then popping it on the ball here. Okay, we're going to keep an eye on the cables and see if it goes into gear before the throttle advances. So watching that top cable, it's moving, 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 and throttle starts moving right about there. So I think we're looking pretty good now. Going to reverse, full in reverse, and throttle just starts moving right about there. So we're going to give that a try. I'm going to hook up the water and we'll see if it's clicking into gear. Right now you can feel that it's in gear. Pull it back into neutral. Yeah, she's in neutral. Put forward gear. We're in gear. Yep. Okay, I think that's going to be a lot better. We might have to do something with the timing, but for now, that's looking pretty good. I'll hook up the fuel tank, and we'll turn the water on. You never want to run one of these dry because you risk a chance of damaging the pump, among other things. Oh, I should have vented that. It made a big mess with the fuel, but that's okay. Gonna hit the primer bulb for the fuel a little bit, and then we'll fire it up. Okay, bulb's pretty solid. To start one of these, if you need the choke, you gotta push in on the key, but we'll give it a try. Okay, that's a lot better than it was before. Might still need a little bit of tweaking, but man, those two strokes make a lot of smoke. Anyways, I'm happy with that. Time to put it back in the water and try it out again. So the next thing we're going to do on the boat is we're going to service the drive oil, the gear oil. It's got a lot of grinding going in and out of gear. We're going to see if this will help it a little bit. That's really what I'm trying to get rid of. I don't want to hear that grinding. So down here is the drain plug. Up here is the vent plug. Now notice I use the word vent plug and not fill plug. You're supposed to fill these from the bottom. That might be a little tricky with what I've got, but we're going to give it a go. So you pull out the bottom plug first, and then you pull out the top plug. There's a little bit of metal in there, so that's some pretty sludgy looking stuff coming out. So we definitely are going to have to do some work on this drive gear at some point. Looks like there might have been some water in there. So we're going to give that a while to drain, and once it's all out, then we'll come back and service it. That definitely could be some of our problems. Looks like this needs a new O-ring. I'll go see if I can find one. Okay, we'll get back to it after that's done draining. Okay, we're set up to refill the leg now. You just want to use some basic 85-90 weight oil. I got the marine grade stuff here. Oh, that sometimes happens. And it's a bit of a trick. Takes about 10-15 minutes for this leg. Actually more like 15-20 minutes for the leg to drain, so takes a while. You might as well go find some other things to do. We're going to keep adding oil till we get the coming up with the top plug here. Got to reset the bottle just a minute. Tell you what, I need both hands for this, so I'm going to pause the camera until I can get this closer to the top. Well, I think that's all fella's going to do for today. We're going to have to wait till we get it on the water before we can do much more testing. Got the gear serviced, got it tuned up a little bit, have the transmission shifting a little smoother. Still might need a little tweaking, but I'm pretty happy where it is right now. So I'm going to cover it up and close her up for today. See you guys when we're on the water.
I guess this one falls.
Well, I hope not. Okay, kiddo, if you want to jump off, go ahead. Nice. You got splashed Jess and Dave.
Both full across. She had her legs curled up.
Yeah.
And it just went everywhere.
Okay, we're out on Little Bow, and as you can see, the water is just gorgeous today. Nice and smooth. It's about 26 degrees Celsius. Just awesome. There's the kids playing in the water. Yeah, we're having a good time. It's a great day out here with some friends. We got his boat going. So that's two inexpensive boats that we've got running and on the water and having a lot of fun. You know, we're going to keep you updated and keep going with some of this stuff. And there's the reservoir overflow. Well, I gotta say the boat is running awesome. I'm very pleased with it. Little adjustments I made. It's not grinding going in and out of gear. It's shifting very well. Still got a little tweaking, maybe a little bit on the timing, but man, it is running a lot better, working a lot better. Very pleased. But Dave wasn't happy that his boat was now slower than my boat, so he went and got another boat, which I had to fix that one, and it ended up being a tiny bit faster. All right, signing off.